You got the wig home, you're so excited, you open the box. The color's completely wrong. The fit is weird. The style doesn't look anything like the stock photo. You decide you're going to throw it in your closet, donate it, try to sell it. Wait, what if I told you that wig could be the key to helping you wear every wig you own better? And not only can it be a great training tool, it might end up being one of your favorite wigs. Today I'm going to talk about how to fix the 5 most common wig problems, and you don't have to be really skilled to do it. You already spent the money on the wig. Let's make sure it's not wasted. The first common wig problem is one that I actually had with this wig, and this is John Renault's Clementine in 12 FS12. It's a regular synthetic wig and it's a blonde, and quite often when you have that combination, you have a shiny hair fiber that looks like doll hair. I hear that over and over again. I got my wig, but it looks so fake. It's so shiny. Well, there's an easy fix for that. What I like to use is the Envy Get Dressed Invisible Texturizer and Shine Diminisher. I'm going to spray it on one half of the hair here. You can see that because I'm going to show you another fix on the other side. And not only does it help to take the shine out, you can see it's putting some texture in my hair there. Really nice. Now, I like to spray that all over, and typically I'll do it when the wig's not on my head, but I just wanted to show you this here. Look how pretty that looks. Nice and styled and texturized. Now, if you don't have that at home, a great quick fix is to use some cornstarch right out of my baking closet. And all I do is I take a big, soft, fluffy brush and I dip it in some cornstarch, and then I just put it on the wig. I kind of spread it out. Make sure not to do a big clump in one spot. It's not a big deal. You can just rub it out, but you could end up with a white spot. Now, if you're doing a brunette wig, you may want to add some cocoa powder to it to give it a darker color. This is a great quick fix if you don't have a wig dry shampoo or like the Get Dressed at home. I like the wig product better. I think the texture it adds is really nice and the fibers feel better. But if you need a quick fix, this works. Okay, next common problem. The wig doesn't fit right. Either it's too loose, it's sliding all over your head, or it's too tight and it's giving you a headache. No worries, there are things you can do. Now, the first thing you want to do before you go altering your wig is you just want to make sure you've adjusted the adjusters, you're using the metal stays in the ear tabs, you've done everything you can the way the wig comes to try to make it fit. Now, if it doesn't fit after that, there are still things you can do. So, for example, say your wig is too large. Now, when I'm talking about fit and changing the cap slightly, I'm talking about a wefted wig that has these elastic adjusters. I don't know how to correct a hand-tied wig where the fibers are sewn in individually and you have that one cap that the fibers are sewn into. If you guys have any solutions for a hand-tied wig as far as making it smaller or making it larger, I would love to hear them. Put them in the comments below. We're here to help each other out. But in the case of a wefted wig with the elastic adjuster, what you can do is you can actually, I like to just cut the adjuster and take it off if it's not easy to get off because of the metal piece here. And then I just cut that off as well. So now that's gone. And I cut it off. And now I just have this adjuster piece here. And this is elastic, which is really nice. So what I like to first do is completely take off this piece of elastic. And I save it because I'm going to use it. I'm doing it out of the camera, I'm sorry. So now I have my piece of elastic here. Also, there's this little loop for the adjuster. You can cut that off as well. Get it out of your way. I'm going to do that right now. Okay. Now that's out of my way. Now you can see this better. And this also is elastic right in here. Now if I go in and open up between two wefts, and I try to be careful not to snip too much hair. Sometimes, you know, I get a piece or two, but that's okay. Okay. So now I have opened that up. Then what you can do is take a piece of your elastic, whatever size you want, depending on how much more room you need. Say I want to use this size piece. So you can see how much, when I just snipped it, how much room now I have just on this one side. And I would say try it on one side first and see how that fits. And then you can try it on the other side. And all you have to do is sew your piece of elastic in there, you know, some little stitches to hold it on, and you got yourself some extra room in the wig. Now, say you want to make your wig cap smaller. You have a petite head and the wig you bought doesn't come in a petite size, but you really wanted it and you thought maybe you could make it work, but it just seems like too much still. Well, Kathleen Ryan, who is an Aesthetica Style Insider, has done a video, and it's an excellent video. I'm going to just link her video here where she shows you how to make that cap smaller. Okay, problem number 3. The color is all wrong. Color is one of the most difficult things to get right when you're shopping for a wig. But color isn't just about the color of the wig. It's about the support around that wig. And I'm going to show you an example here. But say you bought a cooler toned wig and you're feeling really washed out. Well, take a look at your makeup. Are you wearing warm makeup? Are you wearing warm toned clothing? Are you wearing gold jewelry? All this warm stuff that really clashes with your cool wig? One great way to make your wig color look better is to switch those things up. Now in this picture here, you can see I'm wearing a cool toned wig. This is Belle Tress Birmingham in Buttered Toast Rooted. And in the picture on the left, I'm wearing a warm shirt with orange in it, and I have warm makeup on and bronzers and gold jewelry. So I went and I switched to a cool toned pink shirt. I put on silver toned cool earrings, and I changed my makeup to be cooler in tone. Rather than wearing peachy warm tones, I went with the pinky cooler tones. And just by doing that, I think you can see I've softened up my makeup look that goes with the softer look of the wig. So even though the color may not be your ideal color, you can definitely do things to make it work better for you. Okay, next problem. The style is not what you expected. It looked different in the stock photo. It looked different on the reviewers, whatever. I don't know what I was thinking when I decided to get selfie mode in smoke. Sometimes you just have those moments, I guess. I put it on and I was like, oh my gosh, there is no way I'm ever wearing this wig. First of all, way too much hair for me. And the color was off. Now you can see in the photos I've already changed up my makeup and my jewelry and my clothing to all be cool in tone because the wig is cooler in tone. The first thing I recommend is try some accessories with it. Try a headband, try putting it up. And you can see that I did that here. Still wasn't working for me. Still too much hair. So I decided, you know what? I have this wig. I'm not going to wear it anyway. Now's the perfect time to try learning some new skills that I can use on wigs. And that's the beauty of having these wigs that you weren't going to wear anyway. You have some freedom. It's a great training tool. So, first thing I decided to do was to just cut the length and see how it's going to look a little bit shorter. Now, I went online. I am not a hairstylist. I'm not a hairdresser. And I started looking up how to cut a wig. And I noticed that one of the techniques used is what I'm showing here, where you cut the wig using your scissors on an angle rather than straight across. If you go straight across, you're going to get this chunk and it just does not look good. Now, I do have some hair cutting scissors here, and I do think having good scissors really helps. So if you're planning on doing this, you may want to invest in some nice hair cutting scissors. So I cut it to a length that I thought would be nice, and it was already looking better. I was feeling good about it, but it still seemed a little bit too dense for me. So the next thing I did was I pulled out some thinning shears that I had, and I started to just thin the wig. Now, one word of caution when you're thinning, especially closer to the part and the top of the wig, you don't want short little hairs, because what the thinning shears will do is it'll cut some of the hairs but not all of them, and you'll have some shorter pieces. You don't want those right on top. So what I do is I actually take the top layer, flip it over, and I work on a layer below that. That way you won't see little hairs sticking out at the top. So I went to town thinning the wig until it felt like it was the right density for me. So once I had it at a density that I liked, and it was really looking a lot better, I thought, let me add some curl. And one great tip, having some curl or some wave can hide a multitude of sins. If you haven't cut it perfectly, not a big deal. That curl or wave is going to help to camouflage that. So in the end, I turned this into a wig that I would actually wear. You can see the before and after here, and it was a huge difference for me. And finally, let's talk permatease. Permatease has some great attributes. It's used to hide wefting in a wefted wig, and it can add volume and structure, shape to your style. Really great. Not so great when it's looking like a rat's nest at the top of your wig, like this one I'm showing you here. Now, the first thing I like to do when I have permatease like that is I like to just comb through the wig. You can use a brush also. I don't use brushes on heat-friendly wigs, only on non-heat-friendly wigs, but I would start out with a comb and just lift those fibers around the permatease, and you can see already it's starting to look better. Another thing you can do is try changing where the part is. Maybe you don't have as much of a poof of permatease in a different spot. Finally, if it still needs some more work, I take a heat tool to it and I use it to loosen up the permatease. Now, some people use steam. I'm not great at using steam. I've not had much success with it, but I will use the MV Air Styler small brush attachment, which you see me using here, and I will just kind of lift those fibers and use the heat to make it look less prominent. So before tossing that wig, ask yourself, have I tried these fixes? You bought it already, you might as well use it as a learning tool, and you may even end up loving it in the end. Which one of these 5 wig problems have you encountered, and have you been able to fix them successfully? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Also, if you've ever saved a wig from your trash pile, let us know how you did it. We're all learning from one another on this wig journey. If you like this video, check this video out. This is where I show you 6 ways to make your basic cap wig look more natural.